Today's first reading from Ezekiel starts out with some scary imagery and disturbing allusions. But while the beginning is difficult to read, it's ultimately a story that fills us with hope because it reminds us of our worth in God's eyes and all that he has done for us. Here's what Ezekiel describes. In the ancient world, there was a monstrous and diabolical practice committed by the pagans, where a baby who was deemed to be deformed, imperfect, or unwanted, each of those words a repugnant adjective, would be abandoned in a field. The baby would not be accorded any of the human dignity to which it was owed, namely its life, nor any washing or clothing. Rather, the innocent child was maliciously and unceremoniously left alone to die in that field of exposure or be devoured by wild animals, a truly evil and despicable custom. This is the allusion to which Ezekiel refers early in the reading. And of course, it's a stinging reminder that we humans threw ourselves into that field. But the reading goes on to show that we would not stay there for long. For God, the wonderful and loving parent that he is, plucked us up from that ground and saved us. And that fact alone would have been wonderful enough to just be saved. But God did so much more than just that, didn't he? Under the ongoing protection of his covenant, Ezekiel describes how we grew and flourished and became beautiful. But despite all that beauty, never do we outgrow our need for him. For underneath it all, we're still naked and require the safety and security of his cloak, which he lovingly provides. And so we're not only saved, but we grow and we flourish in his eyes. And is God done there, content to merely let us grow and flourish? Oh no, he goes far beyond just that. He takes the extraordinary step of making us his adopted sons and daughters. And in so doing, we are made co-heirs of his kingdom, not only saved from the field and allowed to live, not only allowed to grow and flourish and become beautiful, but given an inheritance and a title. And with that royal title comes all the accompanying accoutrements. He adorns us with jewels and diadems and gives us all the finery and of the royalty that we have become, the choicest leather for our feet, linen and silk for our garments. He restores our dignity and demonstrates to us every day how we are the object of his love. We are lucky indeed, we humans. But Ezekiel also reminds us of a very common human mistake, which we got to be cognizant of to avoid. Like all sin and human blunders, its source, its headwater, is pride. For we can become so enraptured by our own beauty and success, so distracted by the trappings and mesmerized with the jewels and adornments, that we start to think that we are the source and driver of those good things. But no, we are merely the beneficiaries of them. The source is the Lord, a fact that we sometimes forget. Ezekiel reminds us to never let that happen. Instead, our natural response to God's love and goodness is to dare to believe that it is so and that we are worthy of it. For you, each of you, are his special creation. So accept and value your position as you are filled with dignity, created in his likeness, and are an adopted prince or princess in his kingdom. For in Christ, we are more than just tolerated. We are loved, and we are forgiven, and we are his family. For we are his people, and he is our God. Always remember that the King greatly delights in us, in his eyes, and because his beauty is upon us, we are likewise beautiful. But let us also remember that princes and princesses aren't only beneficiaries, they also have responsibilities to love their king, to reflect his love and value upon others in the kingdom, to defend the kingdom, and to always act dutifully and worthy of the inheritance that we've been given. And so in the end, Ezekiel really tells us a beautiful love story today. It's a story about God and the special creation that he made and saved and adopted. A perfect match made in heaven.